Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Felix here, and I am explaining what you guys would be doing for an analyzation artwork worksheet for our analyzation tool. And I have an example that's going to be on the right hand of the screen, which you'll notice there's a painting, and I'm going to explain how to use the worksheet along with the painting for an example. So first of all, you would be analyzing what do you see in the photo. So I would describe that there are five men, four of them being bunched up together really closely, one being to the far right. Um, what I would also tell that there is evidence that this looks like it would be right after a battle, and there are horses. The trees in the foreground are pretty um, broken to the point where it looks like they're just shattered everywhere. There's guns on the ground. So then we would go into what type of artwork you think this would, you think this is. So we can go into paintings, drawings slash sketches, engravings, murals, sculptures, mixed media, scenes slash events, portraits, landscapes, abstract, or other. So we can say this is a painting along with a scene slash event. So is there a title? Actually, yes, there is. It is by Winslow Homer, and the painting is called Prisoners from the Front. So you can try to infer what is kind of happening in the painting by the name of the painting. So let's get to the observation in its parts. So circle, what do you see in the photo? So we can circle, we see people. And is asking, what are the people doing in this artwork? So we notice that they are standing next to each other, and the ones in gray are in a battle uniform, so it'll be the Confederacy. Um, and then there's also people in blue, um, which would be the Union, and then looks like they are surrendering, and they are very timid in the sense that they have like very ragged clothes. They're varying in age too, so they look like they're very distraught and it's very disappointed in the result. What are the objects used in the artwork? So there's guns on the floor, most likely from the Confederate soldiers in gray, and they look to be thrown on the ground. Then there's also the Union soldiers that have their weapons, and you can even say that some of the objects can be their clothing as well if you would like to go that far, because you can see that the variation of cleanliness between the two different sides is very clear. As the Confederate soldiers are just very dirty, and the Union soldiers are very clean, well kept, and look like they one have showered or they just have upkeep in their regiment. And what activities are taking place. We can, as from the title, it infers that the Confederates are surrendering, as you see from there. Um, so, what two words could you describe for this artwork? This can be a free range of different things, and that could be from horrible defeats. Another one for defeat would be unsullied defeats, um, victory at last, things like that. So it'd be kind of like you would want to kind of simplify what the artwork was in two words. And then how would you make sense of it? Who do you think created this artwork? Do you think Winslow Homer was a former Confederate soldier? Do you think um, he was a Union soldier, just a citizen? What side do you think he was on? Okay. And then what time period do you think this artwork shows? So you're showing surrendering, so it can be any after any battle. But what do you think? So due to the clothes, you can probably infer this is during the Civil War, as they still have their uniforms on. And why do you think this was creative? What do you think this artwork is showing? Why do you think Winslow Homer drew or painted three soldiers and then very in various levels of cleanliness and even age? And well, the only two Union soldiers to the right of him, kind of showing like how good looking they are and how clean they are. And what is the main idea of this artwork? Listen to examples of that support your main idea. So, what do you think is happening? What do you think the idea of Winslow Homer was for this painting? And then use historical evidence. Where do you think you could find out more information about the people or activities in his artwork? So, we do have the National Archives. You can even go into some art history painting websites to get some more information. As we know, it's from Winslow Homer. You can also even look into his life and see where kind of reasonings he would have to do this painting. So this is what I kind of want you guys to understand is to kind of analyze. As there's an old saying that many people have used, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this is a prime example of that because there's so many different things from the ground to the people to the statures of how the hands are placed. As you notice, there's one with the pockets, one that hands are in the pockets, one that has their hands in front, one's hand on the side, while another looks to be a general has his hand behind the back, showing that he is in control because he doesn't have to have his hands in front of him. He knows he has control. So these are the things I want you guys to kind of understand with it. So good job, and hopefully we can you can ask me questions about this more if need be.